Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024, and in today's video I'm continuing a series I actually started back in 2020, not the year 2020, in Flight Sim 2020, but I started off with testing out Beyond ATC in South Africa and seeing how the AI ATC environment handled South Africa, and seeing what it's like flying into different sizes of airports. So we made our way into Cape Town, we then made our way here to George, and today we're continuing our journey in Flight Sim 24 with the HondaJet, and our flight today takes us from here in George to Pietermaritzburg. So we're going to an airport that has only RNAV approaches, no ILS. So we're going to see how Beyond ATC handles that, and what it actually gives us in terms of instructions. Big update has just happened to Beyond ATC where we now have traffic. However, it seems like no one's flying in or out of George currently because we have no airliners on the ground here in George. It is a beautiful early morning here at the moment. The sun is just about to start rising above the trees over there, so it'll probably be coming up just as we are making our way out. But that is our plan for today's flight. So let's jump aboard our HondaJet and start getting things ready. Okay, so first things first, let's just get this out of the way. Okay, we'll get our battery on, and we have the ground power, so we might as well use it. Okay, we'll let all of that do its thing and start aligning. Okay, so I do of course have a Simbrief flight plan already set up for us, and we are Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, which we don't actually have. I put this in on the identification section in Flight Sim when I started the flight, but every time I launched the flight it would just change it. So yeah, we're Victor Juliet Kilo, even though it doesn't say it on the side. So that's something that isn't quite working how I thought it would. Right, let's go ahead and get our Simbrief flight plan imported. So there we are, Victor Juliet Kilo from George to Pietermaritzburg. So we can go ahead and import that. Right, I'm expecting, we don't have a SID today, so I'm expecting them to give us runway 11 and then radar vectors to Garbo. So we'll need the initial altitude from ATC as well, because obviously we don't have a SID, so we don't have a kind of set initial altitude. Okay, let's go over here and get our checklist up. So what I normally like to do is put this full screen and get the checklist over there, like so. Right, batteries on. Okay, oxygen checked. Pressurization should be set to normal, so that's cool. Okay, that all looks fine for now. Are we misting up, or is it just misty outside? I think it's outside. Okay, what do we just do? Pressurization normal. Okay, electrical. We are on the external power. Normal. Okay, ELT set to normal. Nose wheel steering, normal. Landing gear lever down. Right, that is stowed. Parking brake is set. There we go. Just going to change this view. There we go. Okay, brake is set. Flaps are up. Thrust levers cut off. Speed brake is retracted. Ice protection normal and off. That's down here, I believe. So we have normal, and off. Perfect. Fuel pumps or fuel panel, all set to normal. Trim panel, basically all set to normal as well. Okay, windshield heat, normal. That's over there. Pneumatics normal, engine bleeds are normal. Normal, and then glare shield panel is fine. And we've done that. Cool. Okay, passengers. We actually need to sort out our weight and balance, so let's do that here. Just have one passenger today. So we can enter that. Cargo will put in like 50 just for hand luggage and stuff. Right, we actually need to change this because I want to fill up with fuel here. Okay, so here we need to change this. We are just taking one passenger with us. This is kind of small. Okay, fuel, we are filling all the way up. One passenger. And we'll put a little bit in the cargo. That's fine. That's all cool for now. Okay, now we can come back here and do our initialization. Perfect, that's done. We'll sync all of this then from the sim. So maybe it's not counting that as a passenger, it's counting it as a crew, which is fine. There we go, so initializations are all done now. Okay, rudder pedals sorted. Seats, doors, parking brake. CAS messages. Those are all fine for our current stage. Right, electrics. Do we have more than 23 volts? Yes, we do. We've got 25. Right, now our next thing we can do is start up the engines. Very simple, the HondaJet. As we can see, the sun is starting to rise. Okay, but let's go and get the ATIS, and then we will get our clearance from ground. There's no delivery here. So 126225 is ATIS. Oops. Okay, so let's go here. 126225. Enter that, and we'll transfer them. And from there we go to 122650.
0405 Zulu. Wind 200 at 6.
George Airport information with E15000. Wind
QNH1007.
Visibility.
Landing and departing runway 29.
Sky condition.
Transition level 090.
Overcast.
Read back all hold short instructions.
Dew point 13.
Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray.
1185. ILS runway 29er.
Okay, that is FlightSim's built-in ATC that was talking in the background, so I need to go and stop that from happening. Otherwise, we've got information X-ray, QNH1007. We're using runway 29, not 11, and transition level 090. So let me quickly go and just turn off the built-in ATC, and then I'll be back. Okay, let's just test this now.
QNH1007. Landing and departing runway 29.
Okay, that's working. Right, let's now contact ground and ask them if we can fire it up, I guess. So ground is 122650, which I thought I was typing in, but obviously didn't do it properly. I think I did 126250. George Ground, good morning. Zulu Sierra Victor Julia Kilo, clearance to Pietermaritzburg, and we have information X-ray QNH 1007. Okay, we need an initial climb and we need a squawk.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, Alpha Oscar Ground, information X-ray correct, expect runway 29er. Climb 7,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors Gabgo. Squawk 1151.
Say Gabgo? I thought it was Garbo. Oh, it is Gabgo. I wrote it down wrong. Expect runway 29, climb 7,000 feet, radar vectors to Gabgo, and squawk 1151, Victor Juliet Kilo. Let's put that in.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
We are ready for engine start, Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, we can set this to 7. We can set this to 1007. Okay, didn't get my message. Ground Victor Julia Kilo, ready for engine start.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, engine start approved. Call when ready for taxi.
Engine start approved, call when ready for taxi, Victor Julia Kilo. Right, engine start in this aircraft is incredibly difficult. We click the start button and move this up. Okay, that's the external power that's disconnected now as well. Let's fire up engine 2. Right, and that's pretty much it. Okay, if we have a look at our taxi, okay, so we're going to 29, which is this side. So we're expecting Charlie Alpha 3 short of 29. Ground Victor Juliet Kilo, ready for taxi.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, runway 29er taxi via Alpha.
Runway 29 via Alpha, Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, so even simpler. So it's a left turn, all the way to the end. Okay, we sync up our heading on the runway. We can go ahead and I like to just set this to 1500 to start off with. And then we will be heading mode. Let's go flaps for takeoff. And we'll go through the checklist now. This needs to be on. Okay, that's all done. Altimeters, flaps, speed brake, cabin signs, parking brakes, release. We check the brakes, check the nose wheel steering, check the instruments. Okay, brakes released. Let's make our way out of here. Okay, brakes checked. Alpha is clear. Obviously, there's no traffic happening right now in George. Pietermaritzburg is not particularly busy either. But I'll be doing some more airliner flights on the channel where we can fly out of places like Gartambo and Cape Town, where we've got a bunch of airliner traffic and stuff like that. I'm really keen for when they introduce VFR to Beyond ATC. That's going to be super cool. Are those giraffe on the end of the runway? Oh dear. Now, this is something I've noticed quite a bit in flights in 24. Here in South Africa, we do have animals on the runway occasionally, just generally not at the bigger commercial airports. The bush trips and stuff, yes, for sure. But having a whole bunch of giraffe on the runway at George, I don't think so. Also, the ground crew would have done something about that by now. I do really like, though, that the animals actually lie down when it's early morning or getting into the evening. They'll actually all lie down like that. And then if you get close enough, they will actually move. There we go. We chase them onto the runway. Perfect. Okay, before takeoff, flaps, trim. Speed brake, CAS. Navigation is set. We just need to sync the heading once we're on the runway. Takeoff briefing, radar, and ice protection is not required.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo. Contact George Tower 118.9er.
18.9, Victor Juliet Kilo. Good day. Tower Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, runway 29, ready for departure.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, George Tower, wind 200 at 6, fly heading 290, runway 29, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 290, runway 29, cleared for takeoff, Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, so we'll sync the heading and then make sure that it's exactly 290 because that's what they asked for. Okay, trims, flaps, autopilot, everything is set except for the heading. Okay, sync that up. 290. Right, here we go. positive rate. Gears coming up. 135 knots, so we can put the flaps up. Let's get the autopilot on.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo. Contact George departure 128.2.
128.2, Victor Juliet Kilo. Departure, Victor Julia Kilo, passing 2,500 feet, climbing 7,000.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, George departure, identified, climb to flight level 150.
Flight level 150, Victor Julia Kilo. Okay, so actually targeting a much lower speed, but I remember this is a thing.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, turn right, heading 095. Expect further clearance in about 15 miles.
Right to 095, Victor Julia Kilo. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it. A bit of both here, dial this up a bit. So we're going 150 he gave us. Okay, there's 06. 095. Cool, screen's on us and bright now as well. Okay, gears up. Yaw damper is engaged. Flaps up. Thrust levers, we're now on auto throttle. Set, we don't need that, and cabin signs are fine. Right, we can probably get rid of this now. Okay, so it wants to climb out at 168, okay. Beautiful morning, yeah, we're now above the clouds. No one else on frequency in George. Okay, traffic is on. So if we do have other traffic, it should appear on our display. Okay, there's transition level that we've just passed, so we can actually set that to standard. I don't know why that made our speed drop so much. Okay, we're through 10,000 feet. Okay, check our pressurization. That's interesting. Where do I enter that? Systems. That's just displaying.
Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, contact Cape Town Control East 124.7.
124.7 Victor Juliet Kilo, good day. I don't know where you set the landing elevation. Cape Town Control, good morning. Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, passing flight level 130, climbing 150. give us further climb here.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, Cape Town Control East. Identified. Climb to flight level 310.
Yeah, 310. Flight level 310, Victor Juliet Kilo. And that is our cruise altitude, so we're going all the way up. So definitely no one else around us at the moment. Right. Why do I have a checklist here? Okay, I need to find where I set landing elevation. It doesn't actually seem like the cabin is pressurizing, but I mean, we're still pretty low down. Go Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, let's do that quickly. Oops. We can actually have the traffic display there as well. Weather radar. Okay, I need to go and figure out where to do the landing elevation. Okay, I'll go and check that out, but for now, what's left is for us to climb up to cruise, continue along our planned route, and so I will join you when it's time to prep for descent into Pietermaritzburg. Okay, so as you can see, if we go down here, we've got about 2.5 minutes to go to top of descent, which is basically happening at that waypoint. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, so we'll see, because I think we could have descended a bit further. So if I look here, we've got how far? 131 miles. Might be a little close. It's just curious that it's exactly on that waypoint, because if I go here, no, I think it's actually working. That does kind of make sense. So I'm going to go ahead and request our descent shortly. I got this to work, right? So it seems like there's no manual way to enter it. The reason why it wasn't populated is I hadn't actually put in the procedure, which includes the runway at Pietermaritzburg. So once I loaded that, it did automatically populate, and now that looks correct. So if we check here, altitude 2,400, it's got 2.6 there. So not quite, but I guess it's okay. A little bit bumpy currently. We also have an Airlink aircraft on the frequency with us. So that means that these traffic is...
Victor Juliet Kilo. Contact Johannesburg Control East 119er decimal 9er.
Johannesburg, Control East 119.9 Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo. Bye-bye.
I just had the auto respond on while I was troubleshooting stuff. Okay, so we need to contact Control East. Johannesburg Control, Victor Juliet Kilo, flight level 310. Victor Juliet Kilo is ready for descent.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, flight present heading, descend to flight level 270, Pietermaritzburg Airport, landing runway 16.
Descend to flight level 270 and expect runway 16, Victor Juliet Kilo. It's weird that our VNAV path just disappeared. And we didn't start descending. Okay, I also did sort out the speeds, which obviously was in the right place. Better. Okay, that is a ridiculous descent rate. 11,000 feet a minute. We're already at 270. Okay, I wonder what's happened to my VNAV now. Yeah, I have nothing again. That's weird. Okay, well, we'll kind of just follow ATC's instructions. Let's just go back here. And it is 270. 245 below 10. Okay, so I don't know why it dropped so much. Right. This is what we are expecting when it comes to our approach. Oh yes, I was doing the checklist quickly. So let's put this over here. Okay, so we're not doing STEX, we're going, I'm assuming he's going to give us vectors to nibble. And from there, we will continue with the RNAV. I'm not 100% sure because I've never done an RNAV with Beyond ATC, so we'll kind of see what happens. But we want to be at nibble at 6.4. Minimums is 2740. Then we'll kind of just keep an eye on these altitudes as we go. If it's cloudy, this is going to suck. If it's clear, you can pretty much see the runway already from here. So hopefully it's clear. It's saying currently 3,000 feet scattered clouds. So if that's anything like what we've got underneath us, we should be okay once we get underneath the clouds. Right, this is a pity we dropped like an absolute stone. And now we're kind of just leveling off, so my VNAV thing didn't happen, but anyway. Okay, altimeter for Pietermaritzburg is saying 1016. missed approach, climb to 7,000. At 3,500, we left, turn back out to STEX, and hold if needed. Right, but we'll see what they give us.
Johannesburg Control East, Cargo 286, descending via Atma 1 Alpha, flight level 166.
So that's Sapphire, it picks it up as the call sign Cargo. So Atmat 1 Alpha, they're going into King Sharko and Durban.
Radar contact. Cargo 286, contact Durban, approach 125.75.
Contact Durban approach 125.75, Cargo 286.
Okay, so now I've got kind of all the stuff that I need to see. So altimeters will do, the transition said 8.5. But we'll see, once they give us a descent to an altitude, I'll set them anyway. A little bumpy up here. Okay, Pietermaritzburg is saying 20 degrees, winds 2-3 at 11 knots, so a little bit of wind. QNH 1016, scattered at 3,000, scattered at 13,000. But full visibility, so we should be fine to see the runway pretty early.
Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, turn left, heading 040, vectors for the approach.
Left to 040, vectors for the approach. Victor Juliet Kilo. See, this is always kind of interesting because he basically could have just left it out. Oh, I suppose he wants to take us out there. No, that's cool. Still at 270 though. Descend to flight level 100, Victor Juliet Kilo. see if we do flight level change, are we just gonna tank again? Oh, that is a bit unnecessary. Okay, I have no VNAV path, so we might as well turn that off. Which is weird. See, I get no top-up descent or anything like that. And it doesn't come up here, but it did earlier. See, and we have an altitude that we're going to.
Vertical track.
Right, now we have it. Okay, so let's arm VNAV. We can decrease our vertical speed until we kind of catch up with it. So I wonder if I need to go into each one of these and kind of accept it. That doesn't seem like you should have to do that. Okay, they're all blue now, so... Right, we're catching up to it now, so now we should switch over to VNAV path. Quantity low. That's gonna make things interesting. If we can't get into Maritzburg. Geez, yeah, we've only got 220 pounds per side. 530 total. Oh, 90 in the center. Sure, I'll put in full fuel.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo Q and H. Expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 16.
Vectors for the RNAV runway 16, Victor Juliet Kilo. Right, so he is giving us the RNAV. I'll run out of fuel at this rate. It's weird because I planned this in Simbrief and it didn't say anything about fuel being an issue. We did have some headwinds along the way, maybe that's part of the reason. Some pretty intense headwinds. Flight level 180. Haven't heard anyone else on frequency. It was just that airlink plane I think was departing, either from Durban or from Pietermaritzburg. And then we had Sapphire who was going into Durban, who's probably pretty close to landing at this point. Little hole in the clouds here. Yeah, we shouldn't have any issues. Look at how much space there is underneath. It did say scattered at 3,000. Because this must be... we had scattered at 13, so that's this layer we're looking at now. There's supposed to be more underneath. There's a couple of little clouds down there. But if it's like this, we'll have no issues getting in. Okay, slowing down to 180. It's a big change in speed. It's 110 knots. No, it's actually 90 knots. Left to 015, Victor Julia Kilo. Right into the clouds.
Johannesburg Control East, Springbok 530. Good day. Through flight level 120 for flight level 150, direct to 3CF.
So they're climbing out of Durban King Shaka.
Springbok 530, Johannesburg Control East, identified. Climb to flight level 300. Climb to flight level 300, Springbok 530.
Right, looks like we're about to break out of the clouds here. Okay, coming up to 10,000 feet. We're a little bit faster than our 180, but we're still below 250, so we're good. Our fuel quantity, not a lot. We kind of need to make sure we get into Maritzburg here, because going to Durban is going to be an issue. Okay, that's flight level 100. Okay, so hopefully he gives us... One of these is going to take us out over the dam. One of these is Midmar, the other one I think is Albert Falls. Which one's which?
Zulu Sierra Victor
There we go.
Juliet Kilo, turn right, heading 020, descend to 8,000 feet.
Right to 020, descend 8,000 feet, Victor Juliet Kilo. so this one is Midmar. This one is Albert Falls. So I wonder if you're going to take us kind of over Midmar and coming in there. Fuel now 440. I think we'll be okay on fuel. Oh, wow, it looks like we're miles away on the map, but we're actually pretty close. Okay, we're supposed to be at 6400 at Nibble. Damn, I guess these are the scattered clouds it was reporting. Nothing serious though. Okay, there's 8,000 feet. In case you were wondering, the lights on the HondaJet are automatic, which is why I haven't tweaked anything.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, turn right, heading 060, descend to 7,000 feet.
Right to 060, descend 7,000, Victor Juliet Kilo. So far this is pretty good. Vectors are making sense.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, 4 miles from Nibel, turn right, heading 120, maintain 6,400 feet until established on the final approach course, cleared RNAV runway 16.
Turn right heading 120, descend and maintain 6,400 until established, cleared for the RNAV runway 16, Victor Juliet Kilo.
Vertical track.
Okay, so now we can actually arm approach, and it should do this itself. Because our fancy Garmin will kind of just see the RNAV almost like an ILS. I mean, not in it having a radio frequency, but in it having lateral and vertical guidance which it can follow. So rather than me trying to do these altitudes, it should sort it out for us, which it looks like it's doing just fine. Okay, we need V-speeds for landing.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, contact Pietermaritzburg Tower 122.0.
I can't remember where it is. 122.0. Good day, Victor Juliet Kilo. Right, let's start slowing down. Okay, we can go flaps 1. That'll help us slow down a bit. A lot. Okay, I'm gonna bring the gear down as well. Runway's in sight. Flaps 2. Approach speed is 107. 2,000 feet. Okay, flaps set for landing. I haven't actually been doing checklists. We need to do this as well. Pietermaritzburg Tower, Victor Juliet Kilo, final runway 16.
Zulu Sierra Victor Juliet Kilo, Pietermaritzburg Tower, runway 16 cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 16, Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, I don't know if we're actually going to get to finish the checklists. Seats, avionics, CAS, approach, flaps. Landing gear, speed brake, flaps, VREF, autopilot and yaw damper disengaged. We'll do just before we land, and speed brake extend when we touch down. Missed approach altitude is 7,000 if we're going around, so we'll dial that up. Okay, once again, runways in sight. Okay, let's ditch the auto throttle and autopilot and yaw damper.
Minimums.
Continue.
500.
A little bit of wind. That windshield reflections are kind of annoying.
300. 200. 100.
There's some animals on the left.
50. 20. 10. 5.
Very floaty. Okay, speed brakes are out. A little twitchy on the ground. We've got plenty of runway to spare. And welcome to Pietermaritzburg.
Juliet Kilo. Exit next available taxiway.
Next available taxiway, Victor Juliet Kilo. Okay, so there's only one taxiway here, so we are going to have to backtrack. So we had Giraffe and George, we've got Buffalo here in Maritzburg. Having lived in Pietermaritzburg for 13 years, can't say I ever heard reports of buffalo on the airport. Okay, landing is now complete. Cabin signs, anti-ice not required, speed brake, flaps, trims in the green band. Hope I'm still on the runway. Nice. Buffalo glitching out. Very nice. Okay, but I'm pretty impressed with how we handled, well, how Beyond ATC handled the RNAV stuff. The vectors were good. I was a little bit late to engage the approach mode. Other than that, it worked really nicely. It got me exactly to where I needed to be to intercept the approach. And yeah, very, very cool. A little bit of traffic, but we'll do some more flights in the future where we've got a lot of traffic going on. We'll go into our Tambo and Cape Town and stuff. And of course, on my other flights where I'm flying internationally, we'll be using it as well. And Tower Victor Juliet Kilo vacated, request taxi to assigned ramp. Nice. So Beyond ATC just crashed. A fatal error has occurred, and Beyond ATC must quit. Okay, well, could have been worse. These traffic, or these like static traffic aircraft are freaking out. I don't think the taxiway actually goes here in Pietermaritzburg. I think it just goes straight, but I'm just gonna go and park here. Pushback. So, okay, parking brake set. Right, shut down. Brake set. We can shut down the engines now. Whoops. External power connects automatically. Anti-ice, external powers, thrust levers, cabin signs, oxygen supply. Brakes will leave on and then battery off. Right, there we are. Safely arrived at Pietermaritzburg all the way from George with a very cool on-nav arrival into Pietermaritzburg. So our next flight, I think, takes us from here in Pietermaritzburg up to Skakusa. However, based on the fuel we consumed today, I don't think we're going to make it that far, so we might have to stop somewhere along the way, but I will figure that out, and we'll do that in the next Beyond ATC in South Africa video. But anyway, if you made it all the way to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed it, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.